Oh my goodness, I have had a light bulb moment, guys, and I want to share it with you now. I've been watching and listening to everything that you've been sharing on social media around your experiences at the moment, and I wanted to think, how can I help all my colleagues out there? And so I've come up with a way. So here's what I've put together for you. I've put together a private Facebook group. It's called Private Practice Monthly Mentorship, and it's especially for psychologists, health practitioners, private practice owners, coaches that love spirituality, that love law of attraction, that love manifesting, and want to learn how to use all of those things in their practice. That's the first way that it's different from the other groups. And the second way that it's different from existing groups out there for private practice owners is this one includes coaching. That's right. So all the members will have opportunities throughout the week and throughout the months to be able to post questions and be coached through the answers. Now, this is very, very powerful, and it's very, very different to what everybody else is doing. Other groups are just going to give you the answers straight up and have, different points of view, and it can feel really overwhelming and you still come away from those posts confused. Coaching's different because coaching is where you receive guidance yourself about how to get the answers to certain things. Hopefully, my program's going to help you to escape some of the anxiety that a lot of you are experiencing at the moment by shifting your awareness. It's going to help you to calm down now through doing less. It's going to help you actually live your values now by providing you with a framework around law of attraction and manifesting and spirituality that you can operate from. It's also going to help you feel alive again, feel lit up again, feel energized by the work that you do. Wouldn't that be so nice? And it's going to help you learn how to handle any problems and challenges in the business with ease, grace, and flow. There's going to be challenges, competitions, and so much more. And the first 20 people that sign up are going to be founding members and enjoy a very special rate. So I can't wait to see you there. If this sounds like something that you would love to learn more about, head over to the website brooklynstorme.com. Find out more information, or you can send me a message on Facebook. The group officially begins on the 1st of May, but you can join now and I'll look after you before then. Have a fantastic Saturday and let's get on with the show. You are a visionary, an entrepreneur, a business owner. You want to make money from your passion and create the freedom that you've dreamed of. But it's slow. The income is slow, the impact is slow, and the freedom is slow. And here's the kicker. You've actually never been busier. You're working longer than ever, burning through daylight, and your family have forgotten who you are. You're tired and frustrated and you can't even sleep well at night. The business just feels so heavy, and all you ever wanted to do was just make the money you want to make doing the things that you want to do. And that's where I come in. Hi, if we haven't met yet, my name is Dr. Storme, and I'm the host of the Business Acceleration Podcast, where we shift your business from heavy to light, time poor to time abundant, and from income lack to income growth. We're going to achieve it together with my 20 years experience as a psychologist, helping people just like you to break through their barriers. And we're going to throw in a little of the woo as well. So thank you so much for pushing play today. Let's begin. Hi guys, happy Saturday. How are you going with everything in your private practice at the moment? I know for me, I'm actually loving all of these changes, and I know that that sounds like a little bit of a random thing to say, given that on social media a lot of people is kind of struggling or not liking it. But I think, when you create resistance, you only create more resistance, right? And so what I've tried to do is go with the flow of everything, and I'm actually loving it. I've come home and I brought half the practice with me. And so for a little while, my study here looked like a bomb had gone off. But yesterday was a great day because I was able to completely declutter the study. And it just feels like such a beautiful space now. As I'm talking to you, I've got 2 candles going. I'm sitting in front of a window watching the thunderstorm. I'm also looking at my very, very tall orange tree that is laden with green balls of oranges at the moment, just kind of being thrown around in strong gusts of wind here. We're down near the beach in Western Port, so it gets very, very windy. And as I'm talking to you, you might hear the rumbling of my roof. So if you do hear noise, that's all it is. Don't panic. So the other thing that I was thinking was because there's been so much less contact with, people in real life, it's kind of required us to be more focused on, the presence of other people online. And so we have to look at what they're saying and look at what they're sharing and try and imagine how they're feeling and what they're thinking and how they're coping, all that sort of stuff. So I've been doing that. And then I was looking at some of the responses that other businesses were having to supporting people. And I just kind of got the feeling like now is the time for me to really embrace this whole spirituality business that I am just loving. I've always loved. But I think now is the time for me more than ever to really step into that space. And so what I want to talk with you about today is, visualization for your future in your business. And the reason that I want to touch base about this today is because it is absolutely 100% geared around law of attraction. And yeah, this is one of the topics that just lights me up so much, and I hope it does for you as well. Law of attraction, I didn't really know anything about in the beginning. I thought it was just really about The Secret, and I didn't even like The Secret. In fact, after the first 5 minutes of the movie, I just found it so difficult to sit through that I turned it off. And I did read the book, but again, I didn't really connect to that. So it took me a while to sort of warm up to the idea of law of attraction. And when I did study it properly, what became apparently clear to me was that a lot of the processes inherent to manifesting are very, very similar to things that we already talk about in psychology. There's more overlap between psychology and law of attraction than there is disparity. So that's the first thing. And I think, when you learn something, it's always easier to learn it when you can relate it to something that you already know. I think that's why law of attraction for me as a psychologist was easy to understand and then super easy to apply. And so I've been sharing that a lot over the last couple of years. And now I work with 5 private practice owners every quarter, and we use frameworks around law of attraction, frameworks around spiritual alignment, frameworks around purpose and connection and things like that to help them get the results in their business. And this is why I believe now that success in your business or success in your private practice is going to come from the inside out. I understand now that whatever you're experiencing in your business is 80% a direct result of what's going on inside for you. And so that's why I thought now is a really, really great time to teach you a simple way of using visualization. Look, you can use it to create the future for your practice or not. You might just use it as an experiment for yourself to see, what you think about law of attraction and visualization. And maybe you might even take away an action step or 2 from it that you can try implementing as well. So the thing about visualization is it really works on, your brain, and it helps different parts of your brain wire and fire, as Joe Dispenza would say. And so that's the really cool thing. We know that the effectiveness of visualization is backed up by evidence. So as health practitioners, coaches, and private practice owners, that kind of puts us at ease a little bit, doesn't it? Because we can't make big generalizations and sweeping statements about things that haven't been shown to be effective. So, it kind of ticks that box. But really the thing about visualization is that it really helps focus your awareness on something. And you know that where your focus goes, your energy flows, right? If you have something in your awareness, you're going to see more of it. For example, if I said to you I was going to buy a yellow Herbie car, little yellow Volkswagen car, and we had a discussion about that, then chances are later on that day, you're going to see a yellow Volkswagen on TV or on the road or on an advertisement somewhere or in a book, or a YouTube ad will just suddenly appear with a yellow Herbie Volkswagen on it. It's not that there's suddenly a lot more yellow Herbie Volkswagens in the world. It's just that it's in your awareness now because you're choosing to focus on it. So that's the really cool thing about visualization. We want things to grow. So this means if you can start focusing on the results that you want in your business, you will start to see more of them, right? If you start to focus on all the things that you don't want in your business, then you're also going to see more of the things that you don't want in your business. For example, if you don't like doing telehealth, you're going to get inundated with requests from people saying, I want telehealth. You're going to get more back of the things that you don't want. If you're saying, this whole process of shifting my practice from in-person to online is hard, then your experience is that the process of shifting your practice from in-person to online will be hard. Okay, this is how it works. Like attracts like in terms of your vibration, in terms of your thinking, in terms of your mindset. So that's such an important thing to kind of wrap your head around. The other thing is that we want to try and be more conscious in where we're focusing our attention. And that just means as soon as the thought comes that's an unwanted thought, maybe it's a thought around the absence of something that you really want. Like maybe you say, oh, I want a fully booked diary and I don't have one and this is horrible and I don't like working from home and none of my clients want to do online. Then, that's what you're going to experience more of. So we want to try and shift that. And I'll show you how to do that today. But visualization works through two areas. The first is abstract thinking, and that requires parts of the brain to imagine possibilities and to see relationships between things that weren't there before. Okay? Oh, can you hear the thunder? Okay. And so an easy way to give you a demonstration of this is with something called the color poem. So if I said to you, imagine the color pink. Okay, so you bring to mind the color pink. You've all done that. And what I want you to do now is let go of all the things that you would commonly associate with pink. So don't think about hearts, don't think about flowers, don't think about strawberries and things like that. Let go of all those things you would normally associate with pink. What I want you to do is imagine if pink had a scent. What would the scent of pink be? Okay? Pink had a scent. And don't do something obvious. Reach for something random. Maybe the scent of pink might mean the smell of candy or the smell of lollies and sweets and ice cream at a circus. Okay? And maybe it might mean something else for you. Now imagine if pink had a sound. What would the sound of pink be? Okay? What would the sound of pink be? Would it be the sound of children laughing? Would it be the sound of your favorite opera? Would it be the sound of, beautiful music? What would the sound of pink be? And then think about texture. If you could reach out, pink was right there in front of you and you could reach out and touch it, what would you feel if you could touch pink? Okay. What if pink had a flavor? What would pink taste like? And lastly, if pink had a sound, what would pink sound like? So what I've done there is I've just asked your brain to try and create patterns and relationships and join the dots between different areas of your brain that don't normally talk together. And that's what visualization is, okay? It involves abstraction, abstract thinking. The other thing that really, really anchors a visualization into your reality, into your future reality, is being able to link it with sensory connections, okay? So if you think about a memory that you've had growing up, maybe it was a memory of getting married, maybe it was a memory of getting your first job, getting your first car, getting your first dog, your first kiss, something like that. But I bet any of your dominant memories are dominant because of an emotional attachment that's linked to them, okay? Memories that have that emotional connection are more powerful than memories that don't have that. You know, if I said to you, what did you have for breakfast 4 days ago? You might not be able to remember. Or if I said to you, you know, who was the fourth person that you texted on the 1st of January. You might not remember that, but you have dominant memories, and they're dominant for the emotional connection. Okay, and that's really important to know, because when you're going to be visualizing for your private practice, whether it's visualizing more profit, whether it's visualizing more appointments, whether it's visualizing more referrals, whether it's visualizing greater visibility, it doesn't matter what it is. When you can link emotion with that visualization, with that imaginary event happening, and you can allow your mind to experience that event as if it's already happened, or as if it's happening right this minute, then guess what? That's going to become your point of attraction. That's going to become your dominant vibration. And guess what? When you start to then focus your attention on that image, on that visualization, in a way it's now kind of become a memory, because your brain can't distinguish between, like your subconscious mind can't distinguish between what's real and what's not. So it's going to think it's already happened. All right. And then by you consistently, like every day, going back to that visualization / memory, you're going to start to direct your focus onto it more. Okay. So how cool is that? So there's an activity that can really help you with understanding, I guess, the start point for visualization. And there's a tool that you can use, and it is going to be like a negative and then a positive. So there are a few steps to go with this, and I'll just explain it to you. It's really straightforward. You don't need to write it down. I'm pretty sure you'll remember. But all you do is you get 2 pieces of paper and you put a big cross in the middle of the paper. So you've got 4 quadrants, okay? And in one quadrant, you write the word physical. In another, you write mental. In another, you write emotional. And in the 4th one, you write spiritual. So physical is anything that you experience in your body. So it might be a feeling of butterflies. It might be a feeling of a headache, nausea, something like that. Mental is going to be anything that you're thinking about. Okay, so cognition, all those thoughts that come into your head. What if, what if, what if? Emotional is all the feelings that come up for you. And spiritual is really around, what we spoke about before, purpose and meaning that you have in your life. So the first piece of paper is going to be, I want you to think about an upsetting experience that you had, like a negative experience where something didn't really go well for you. And I want you just to really take a moment, maybe just if you want to, you can set a timer for a minute. I wouldn't do it for any longer than that, but maybe just set a timer for a minute, even if it's just on your phone. Close your eyes and just allow yourself to go back to that memory. And I want you to allow yourself there to really notice how you're feeling physically. Pay attention to what you were saying to yourself at the time. Pay attention to those thoughts that you were having at the time. Pay attention to the feelings that you were experiencing, and pay attention to, what you were feeling in terms of purpose and meaning in your life. And when that minute has expired, what I want you to do is, grab a pen and fill out those 4 quadrants with as much detail as you possibly can. And then on the second piece of paper, you're going to do the same exercise, but this time I want you to recall like one of your favorite, best memories. So it might be a memory that was really based around joy and happiness, or it could be a memory around achievement, or it could be a memory around excitement, or, whatever it is. But let's make it a positive one. And again, set a timer for around a minute and allow yourself to close your eyes and remember what the feeling was like that you were having. What were all the different types of feelings? What were you experiencing in your body? How did you feel in your body in this memory? What were you saying to yourself in this memory? What was going through your mind? And what did this memory at the time mean for you in terms of purpose and meaning in your life? Okay. And when that 1 minute has, finished, again, just grab your pen and fill out each of those quadrants with as much detail as possible. When you've done that, have a look at, do a bit of a side-by-side comparison of both of those quadrants, and just have a look for yourself at what comes out for you, what really jumps out for you. Are there any striking contrasts? Is there something that, causes you to have a bit of a light bulb moment about how you feel or how you think or, what you experience and things like that? But, the aim is to really, I guess, have a deeper understanding looking at this of how you might be able to use the information in the positive diagram to help you leverage experiences that are unwanted in the future. Okay, so maybe, you could ask yourself, how can I learn from this around turning a difficult time into a manageable time? How can I learn from this about, what I experience in my body when I feel good? What can I learn from this in terms of the thoughts I need to think or say to myself to elicit a certain emotion or a certain feeling? And how can I start to introduce them in situations where I'm not feeling so hot? This is really a very powerful personal development exercise, but it's only going to be as powerful as the questions that you ask. And those questions need to always begin with a how. How can I use this information to help me move forward in my private practice? How can I use this new awareness of the things I say to myself to move forward in my private practice? How can I use this awareness of, when I'm feeling energized in my spirit, when I'm feeling energized in my mind, I also feel energized in my body. Knowing that, how can you now think about cultivating that same level of energy during times where you just don't have it, where you're feeling a little bit depleted? Start asking yourself the how questions. And this is the process of personal development that's essential for being a conscious co-creator when you're talking about manifesting a law of attraction for your private practice. Okay, so it's so much fun to do this kind of work. And I think now, if you've got a little bit of a break over Easter, it's a great time to sit down and really allow yourself to do some of this inner work, right? Because this is really around shifting perspective, providing you with frameworks, helping you change the way you experience your life, change the way you see life, change the way you feel about your practice, change the results that you can call in your private practice. And it's so much fun to do. I just love it so much. And yes, I am all about this, and I'm just going to walk boldly in this lane of helping private practice owners just like you and I play around with law of attraction and see what amazing results we might be able to generate for our businesses with it. And I want to thank you so much for supporting me with this. And I want to say, I am here. I'm your girl. If you want to talk about law of attraction and manifesting and your business and your private practice, bring it. I'm all for it. Let's, just throw caution to the wind and allow ourselves a safe space to be able to talk about all of this sort of stuff and celebrate each other's wins. I'm so excited to step into this space for you. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you can consciously create for your private practice. Thank you so much for listening today. At the start of the show, you would have heard me talk a little bit about the private practice monthly mentorship. It's so cool. It's different to all the other groups on Facebook because they don't do coaching. So I'm going to include coaching in there for you, which means if you're at work and you've got a question about something, I'm going to coach you through it in the group, which how cool is that? And it's also cool because you're going to be empowered by that. How empowering for you to be able to be guided by someone on the outside to find answers to your own questions from within. I mean, how cool is that? No one else is doing it. And apart from that, there's also going to be like monthly trainings and coaching calls, live coaching calls, and we can do hot seats if you like, and all that sort of fun stuff. Plus, of course, resources and things. I'll upload all my webinars there as well, and they're just going to be so much fun. The first 20 people to join are going to be founding members, and they get like a lifetime reduced rate. It's just $97 Australian. And for everybody who joins after the first 20 people do, they're going to pay $197. Okay, so if this floats your boat, if this is something that you would love to play around with, I would love to have you in the group. If it's not your thing, but you know someone who really loves law of attraction and manifesting and spirituality, would you please do me a huge favor and let them know that this group is up? And either share this episode with them or give them my details. Like my website, it's brooklynstorme.com. Thank you so much for listening, and we've got another episode coming out for you on Wednesday next week that I hope you enjoy as well. Thank you so much for your time, guys, and I look forward to connecting with you in the group. Have a wonderful Easter. Bye. Thank you so much for listening today. I really hope that you enjoyed it and got a lot of value from it. Help me help others by sharing this podcast. And if you feel called to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, remember to let me know so that I can send you a very special thank you gift. Now go and build your dream business, and I will see you next time. Bye.